The biker who became her shield. At 2:07 a.m. in Las Vegas, Nevada, the neon lights of the Strip were still glowing, but miles away from the crowds, a small roadside diner called Midnight Rose sat almost completely empty. Emma Carter, a 22-year-old waitress, wiped the last table while fighting exhaustion. She had been working double shifts for weeks because her younger brother, Noah, was seriously ill in a Las Vegas hospital. Every dollar mattered. Emma looked at the clock. 2:07 a.m. Then she heard it. Arrumblee. 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 Dozens of motorcycles appeared through the darkness. The windows shook as a convoy of black motorcycles stopped outside. 5 leather-clad bikers entered the diner. At the center was Ryan Ryder Cole, the feared leader of the Black Vipers. He was tall, muscular, quiet, and carried an old scar across his left eyebrow. Ryder sat down. Black coffee. No sugar. Emma nodded nervously. She picked up the cup and walked toward him. Suddenly, one of Ryder's men grabbed Emma's wrist as a joke. She lost her balance. The hot coffee flew through the air. It landed directly on Ryder's expensive black leather jacket. The diner went completely silent. Several bikers reached for their weapons. Emma's face turned pale. "I'm sorry. Please, I didn't mean to." Ryder slowly stood. His men waited for his command. Instead, Ryder raised one hand. "Put them away." The guns disappeared. Ryder walked toward Emma. She expected anger. Instead, he looked directly into her frightened eyes. "Are you hurt?" Emma shook her head. "No." Ryder looked at the coffee stain on his jacket. "Then forget it." He turned around and walked outside. Emma watched him disappear into the darkness. She had no idea that the terrifying biker had just made a decision that would change both their lives. 7 days later, the Midnight Rose was closing when 3 black SUVs stopped outside. Emma immediately recognized the men. They belonged to Victor Kane, Las Vegas's most powerful crime boss. Victor entered wearing an expensive suit. He smiled at Emma. "Miss Carter, this diner is going to become part of my business." Emma stared at him. "I don't understand. You don't need to." His men began moving boxes through the back door. Emma realized what was happening. The diner was being used as a secret distribution point. Victor stepped closer. "You saw nothing tonight. I won't tell anyone." "Good." But one of Victor's men suddenly grabbed her. Emma struggled. "Please, let me go!" Victor raised a gun. "You should have listened." Then, crash! The front doors exploded open. A motorcycle came roaring into the diner. Ryder jumped off. Behind him came the Black Vipers. Dozens of motorcycles surrounded the building. Ryder looked at Victor. "Get away from her." Victor laughed. "You think you're powerful because you ride motorcycles?" Ryder slowly removed his helmet. "No." He looked behind him at his men. "I know exactly how powerful I am." A fierce confrontation followed. Victor's men tried to escape through the back entrance, but the Black Vipers had already surrounded the building. Ryder reached Emma and pulled her behind him. "Stay close." Emma's voice trembled. "Why are you doing this?" Ryder didn't answer. After several tense minutes, Victor's men surrendered. Victor himself tried to escape through the kitchen. Emma noticed him reaching for a hidden gun. "Ryder!" Ryder turned just in time. Victor fired. The bullet struck the wall. Ryder tackled Victor to the ground and kicked the weapon away. But instead of killing him, Ryder stepped back. "You're going to answer for everything." Police sirens suddenly filled the street. Emma stared at Ryder. "How did the police know?" Ryder looked toward the doorway. "I called them." Emma couldn't believe it. "You could have killed him." Ryder shook his head. "That's not the life I want anymore." The secret. When the police took Victor away, the diner finally became quiet. Emma sat on the floor, still shaking. Ryder approached her. "Are you okay?" She nodded. Then she asked the question that had been haunting her. "Why me?" Ryder reached into his jacket. He pulled out an old photograph. Emma looked at it. Her heart stopped. It was her father. The same father who had disappeared 10 years earlier. She touched the photograph with trembling fingers. "Where did you get this?" Ryder sat beside her. "Your father gave it to me." Emma's eyes filled with tears. "You knew my dad?" "Yes." Ryder took a breath. His name was Michael Carter. He discovered evidence against Victor Kane years ago. Emma stared at him. "My father didn't abandon us?" "No." Ryder's voice became quiet. "He was trying to protect you." Emma began crying. "What happened to him?" Ryder looked down. "Victor found him." Emma covered her mouth. Ryder continued. "Before your father disappeared, he asked me for one thing." "What?" "To find his daughter." Emma looked into Ryder's eyes. "How long?" 5 years. Her tears continued falling. "You've known where I worked?" "Yes." "You were watching me?" "From a distance. Why?" Because Victor's people were still looking for you. Emma remembered the night the coffee spilled on Ryder's jacket. Then that wasn't an accident? Ryder smiled faintly. No, Emma stared at him. I came to the diner because I knew Victor's men were watching the area. He paused. The coffee was never important. Emma whispered. Then what was? Ryder looked directly at her. You, the final choice. By sunrise, the police had arrested Victor Kane and several members of his organization. The evidence Ryder provided exposed years of criminal activity. For the first time in a decade, Emma felt free. But Ryder knew something Emma didn't. His own life was still dangerous. He walked toward his motorcycle. Emma followed. Where are you going? Leaving. Why? Because you're safe now. Emma shook her head. You protected me for 5 years, and now you're just leaving? Ryder looked away. You deserve a normal life. Emma stepped closer. Maybe I don't want normal. Ryder looked at her. I don't want someone to protect me from a distance anymore. She reached for his hand. I want the truth. Ryder smiled. You already have it. Emma looked at the motorcycle. Where does the road go? Anywhere. Then take me somewhere peaceful. Ryder hesitated. You're not afraid of me? Emma smiled through her tears. I was afraid of everyone else. She held his hand tighter. But you were the one person who never hurt me. Ryder handed her a helmet. Emma put it on. She climbed onto the motorcycle and wrapped her arms around him. The engine roared. Behind them, the Midnight Rose stood quietly beneath the morning sunlight. The place where their story had begun with a broken cup of coffee was now the place where Emma finally understood the truth. Ryder started the motorcycle. As they rode toward the Nevada sunrise, Emma whispered, Thank you for finding me. Ryder smiled. No, Emma. He looked toward the open road. You were never lost. You were just waiting for someone to bring you home. And for the first time in 10 years, Emma wasn't running from her past. She was riding toward her future. The He end.